Guys, this is Dave here again. I had some questions off of my last video describing what I've done. This one's basically directed to non-groms as far as the carburetor setup is concerned. Basically, if you order, when I ordered the kit, and like I said, I call it a kit, but I ordered it. It was 3 pieces. It was this it was the carburetor, the air filter, and the adapter. As I said in the previous video, I believe I already had this intake elbow, but I do know that T-Bolt USA does sell the elbow as well. On the stock bike, the carburetor is flipped around, pointing this way, because the air box will come up and wrap down and go into the carburetor. Obviously with this bigger carburetor, it won't fit because the starter is in the way. The carburetor comes with an assortment of main jets, but it comes with the 22.5 Pilot pre-installed as well as the 190 main installed. Now Vince told me to put the 170 main in and see how the bike did, but it did not. I mean, it did okay, but it was breaking up on the top end a little bit, so I put the 190 back in it and it's fine. The one nice thing that I'll tell you, this carb is 100% rebuildable, 100% tunable. You got your idle screw, you have your air mixture screw. Okay, on the stock carburetor, I'll have to find the carburetor. It's buried right now. The stock carburetor is non-serviceable. You can't even take the bowl off. They use some sort of rivets. So, whereas this guy here has just normal screws. But if you see this little bolt right here, it's a 17 millimeter bolt. The beauty of that is you can actually, now fuel will come out, so you gotta have a drain pan. But if you take that bolt out, you can swap out your main jet without even removing the carburetor from the bike. The setup of this carburetor was way easier than what the factory carburetor. The factory carburetor to me was very temperamental. You had a very fine window of adjustment for the air fuel mixture screw, as well as affecting the idle. The bike just didn't want to run all that well. This carburetor is very easy to use. Sorry about that, guys. This carburetor is very easy to use. It definitely is a lot easier to tune, a lot easier to dial in than the stock carb. And being, everyone lives in a different climate. Everyone lives at a different altitude, so having a carburetor that comes with multiple main jets really makes it a lot easier out of the box, because there is some trial and error. What works for me won't work for someone, say, in Minnesota. But T-Bolt USA has a very good write-up on how to properly tune a carburetor, which is the guide I followed, because it's been years since I've actually messed with a carbureted system. Electronic fuel injection, I know that. I mean, if you see, I've got a Focus ST that is putting over 400 wheel horsepower, and I've been learning to tune that with no problems. But it's been a while since I've gotten back to carburetors. But yeah, I mean, the biggest difference is obviously if you try to run some massive air filter, you're going to have clearance issues, but I don't know if I can show you. With the side panel back up on there, the little foam air filter element presses up against the end of the plastic, but it doesn't affect anything. It's not pushing out on it astronomically bad or anything. You know, so it's not been a concern for me. So, you know, it's just, it's worth, and even if you had to do a little bit of modification, it's worth it because the carburetor is so much better than what, you know, the bike came with. You know, this carburetor is going to do what I need it for quite a while. Even if I go big bore, I mean, the carburetor should sustain the power levels I need. You know, supply enough fuel and whatnot. And also, real quick, I figured I'd show. A couple of you had questions. If you can see, you know, right there's where my exhaust is welded. It's a slip fit. The stock exhaust is. I can show you. Let me grab this stock exhaust. Basically, all I did is the slip fit joint came down, and it's got a nut and bolt, you know, that pinches onto the, you know, the rest of the exhaust system. I just cut it off at the end there, and then just welded it all together, and that's how my exhaust is, you know, still in the factory location, because I just think it looks a little bit cleaner, in my opinion. So, if you have any more questions or concerns, or, you know, if any of you guys buy this carburetor and you're having some issues, you know, I can do the best I can to try and help get it dialed in for you. But this one, with the stock or the pre-installed jets that come factory, the carb is working great. So thanks a lot, guys. Bye.